All right, here we go. 2025. It's the one and only. Well, it's not 2025 yet, though. You know what I mean? It's 2024. Still, it's the one and only, the real homie, if you really know me. And we're back again with part two of my introduction, my inception with Bay Area hip hop, Bay Area rap. The last video got some pretty good responses, so let's just keep it going. And in 2025 will be more elaborate, and you'll all of the pomp and circumstance and flair with it. But for right now, I'm just chopping it up with everybody, man. Just putting it out there as like a precursor, episode one. So this is part two of episode one, meaning before I even became somebody known as T Cash, I became a rapper, and that started a certain way. It didn't happen overnight. So where we left off last time, I believe, is about sixth grade, seventh grade. And by this time, I was back in Oakland. I was going to Carter Middle School. I wasn't necessarily hanging in North Oakland like that. We lived on East 18th Street. Me, my mother, and my sister. God bless her soul. But I always, my mom would always find time to drop me off at my grandmother's house. I'm saying grandmother, but technically it was more like a auntie, you know what I mean? She was more like a paternal auntie to my mom and my dad, extended family from Arkansas, and that was 43rd Street for the record. So when you hear me say 43rd Street, Market Street, North Oakland, the Smith family migrated from Arkansas. A lot of us migrated from Arkansas. My father, another gentleman I know very passionately as Uncle Leroy, Auntie Florence. We became acquainted with Sadie Smith, Mama, everybody on 43rd Street as a kid. So when my parents split up, my father's presence was still there indirectly through the presence of my family on 43rd Street, right? So I would go over there, and my mom would drop me off. She would be out doing whatever she was doing, and I'd hang out with my cousin Junie. We were still kids, so we just played around, man. We watched TV, played basketball, all type of stuff. But by this time, we was both getting into trouble, mischievous and shit. So we listened to rap, to gangster rap. You know what I mean? Like the real, So I started to get more acquainted with writing raps because I would write raps out to battle him. Like he would write a rap and then I would write a rap. You know what I mean? And I remember my cousin Lorena, if you're watching, you still a baby. You know what I mean? Like he was in the playpen, and you would be in the playpen and you would be asleep. You know what I mean? And we would have to not rap hella loud because we didn't want to wake you up because we would get in trouble. You know what I mean? So we would write the raps and then say them against each other. And I felt bad because, man, Junie had a real rap. Like, you could tell, like, he wrote it. You know what I mean? Like, it was we was kids. So he couldn't be too elaborate. Man, my shit was fucked. I was cheating. I wrote the DOC's rap to the grand finale. And then I made like a line at the end that was mine. I think it was mine. But anyway, I was biting, But anyway, okay, so don't laugh, but the line went like this. I remember this. I said something, something, something like a waffle, or should I say a waffle? It doesn't matter because you still got gaffled. That shit was hella ancient though, you know what I'm saying? But that was my rap, and Junie was like, damn, man, that shit was tight. You know what I'm saying? You wrote that? That was tight. Say it again. I was hella scared though, man, because I was like, damn, if I say it too much, he might catch on, you know what I'm saying? But he never caught on and everything. God bless his soul too, man. He passed away. So I spent a lot of time writing raps, trying to put raps on paper as a kid around the seventh grade. But something else happened around that time that really accelerated my relationship with not just like wanting to rap, but actually rapping and performing. So even though it was fucked up. I mean, middle school, we all know, man, middle school is just rough in general. But I went to Carter in the 90s, early 90s, 89 to 92. That shit was fucked up, you know what I mean? And we had a lot of trauma, man. All of us, we was just kids. But we processed that through identifying with the anger that was projected in the artists that we listened to. And the beauty of it, I'm using that word specifically, I selected that word, is that was the safest thing going at the time, man. We didn't have to do drugs. We didn't have to, drown out our feelings with other things that were not as constructive, man. We rapped. We listened to rap. We wrote raps. So I'm gonna name some names, and if people don't, if you went to Carter at that time, or somebody like that I'm naming and them, just let them know, like, man, I never forgot. It was a few people I used to rap with. And we weren't a rap group, but we always wrote raps together. We said raps. We did talent shows together. And it was all North Oakland, you know what I mean? So it was, well, no, not everybody, but for the most part, it was all North Oakland, you know what I mean? And that for me was another layer of comfort, because it kind of connected me to my dad and 43rd Street and all this stuff. When I stopped really going around 43rd for just different reasons, it wasn't nothing negative. But anyway, okay, so let me stay on point. So 7th grade, 8th grade, man, 7th grade is when I got acquainted with more, just hip hop in general. I did go through a quick New York backpacker phase. Everybody did at the time. It was just a lot of dope stuff coming out of New York. De La Soul, De La Soul, De La Soul. That was one of my first New York groups that I was like, man, this is tight, But that played out quick, man. I was a big fan of EPMD, a couple other groups. But anyway, that came and went. Biz Markie, that came and went too. But it remained West Coast, and for the most part, it remained local. And the point I'm trying to make is 7th grade, 8th grade, that was when it was like cemented in my mind. Like, I want to be a rapper, man. I want to rap. I don't know if I'm gonna be a rapper like when I grow up, but I want to be a rapper right now. Oh, and then we had by the top of the 8th grade year, Crisscross. This was late '91, so Crisscross, other like kid groups, Another Bad Creation. These were child rappers, so it was like, man, we could do it. So when I say we can do it, let me continue on this path. I don't want to get too caught up in my own memories where you like, what are you talking about, motherfucker? Okay, so I'm gonna name some names. Here we go. First and foremost, I hope you see this. I hope you listen. I hope you're still alive, okay? But Bobby Hamilton, my real homie, young Bobby Hamilton, okay? Miles Byers. Everybody know Miles from North Oakland. Miles, his brother Philip. Platinum Players. What's up, Platinum Players? Yeah, I know all of them. Miles, Philip. Well, Philip didn't go to Tech. He didn't go to Carter with us, but Miles, I'm just saying, Miles. You know what I mean? Everybody know Miles. His brother Brian, his brother Brian was a baby, I guess, when we was on in middle school, but a lot of people don't know. I used to cut Brian's hair, him and Miles' hair, when I was in high school. But anyway, shout out Brian, man. He gets a bad rap, man, but he's a good guy as well, man. So if you know Brian, Brian Byers, man. Shout out Brian. Miles would play the piano. I played the saxophone. So in our 8th grade music class, we would make like beats, right? He would basically play the saxophone. I would play the saxophone. He would play the piano, and then Bobby would play the drums, because Bobby played the drums. And we just started rapping to what it is we was making, right? We were in Mr. Kayson's music class, 8th grade. That class was so turned up, man, because we all would come to class with like new music that we never heard of, but it was local. And by the time we finished the class, it was like, I gotta go get that shit. So another person that was really influential, man, I hope you're still alive, bro, but Damian Michaels. This ain't the same Dame Michaels that some people know. Shout out to him, but it was another Damian Michaels. And he had family in the Crest. And I'm kind of going somewhere with this, because Dame brought a tape to Carter one day He was like, man, you ain't never heard of this. And it was, I believe, Coolio. It was Coolio, now known as Coolio the Underdog. And I met Cooley down the line, man. But it was an underground tape. And he was always calling everybody Cuddy, 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 Cuddy. So I was like, what is that? So here's where it gets even more intricate. I had homies in the apartment building that I stayed in on East 18th Street. That's my other extended family, man. I love them dudes so much, man. Everybody, man, that was another, that's one thing about Oakland, man. We define family both by blood and by love. So if you got love for people, man, to the point where they're family, you know what I mean. You got to really be from Oakland, though, respectfully, man. With people like transplants and stuff who just moved here or been out here, that's cool, but if you really from Oakland, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So it was around that time I would go to my homeboy's apartment, Andre, and his older brother, Bill, the same Bill that's rapping with me, B. Moja, on Last Real Hustlers, on Turf War Syndrome. He had every last damn local album you can think of. So Bill, Carter, and then the 9 o'clock beat, that radio show, I was just surrounded by local hip hop, local Bay Area rap, man. And it was good stuff. Everybody loved it. It was glorified. So I'm gonna try to put this all together, and then I think I'll stop. Okay, just for now. So by the time I was in the 8th grade, we were doing talent shows at Carter. Me, Bobby. Oh, how can I forget? Izabian, my boy Izabian. Okay, he was another platinum player. I forgot what your rap name was, man. Damn it. Cavassier? Was it Cavassier? I forgot. Anyway, man, shout out to Brian and everybody, Fred, everybody, platinum players, man. Remind me somebody chime in and remind me what Izabian's rap name was, man. Oh, and then somebody else that was with us, he wasn't rapping, but my boy Young Tig, man. Davin Tolbert, man. Miss you, bro. Anyway, we all went to Carter. Oh, and then my boy Josh. Josh, if you watching this, you listening, I didn't forget about. So Josh he had an East Coast vibe to him, man, and he was another dude that kept me on point when it was like, don't forget about the East Coast. You know what I mean? The East Coast aspect of it. You know what I mean? It was a lot of people, man. My boy Lil Marcus, he didn't rap like that, Mac Lou's brother, but he was still he was too fly to not be a rapper, you know what I mean? He was an honorary rapper, even though he didn't rap, you know what I mean? So we would perform at these talent shows and just get all this hype and this buzz, and people would be like, man, you about to sign a record deal, man. And when you're kids, it just catches on like wildfire. So like we would perform these talent shows, and then a week later, somebody'd be like, man, you about to get a record deal, man. I heard you about to get a record deal. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm about to get a record. I'm about to get a record deal. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I never got I didn't get a record deal then. Thank goodness. Oh my God. The child exploitation laws, all type of shit. Thank goodness. So no, we never got a record deal. But what it did was pretty much cement my identity as a kid who knew how to rap, who wanted to be a rapper, and other people believed that I was good enough to be a rapper. So that's when I stopped questioning myself as to if I was good enough to be a rapper. Because my thing is, if you can get a bunch of badass, hard-headed ass middle school kids from Oakland, in the early 90s to say, you know how to rap, shit. You know what I'm saying? You doing something right. And that was all of us. So it wasn't just me. It was all of us, man. We definitely knew how to, move the crowd, and that came out. That was in our favor. Okay, so anyway, a lot of different artists at the time we listened to for reference, and it influenced our raps, right? Ascari X, Mac Dre, Too Short, Dangerous Dame, 415. Who else? It was a couple other people that don't really get enough credit, man. Some unsung heroes. Black Dynasty. A lot of people forget about Black Dynasty. This was right before that main Renaissance period, so it wasn't too MC Pooh Man. It was a lot of people that came a little bit after this that I will name at some point. But I'll give you a sneak preview of that. Because by the time I graduated 8th grade, right? By the time I graduated 8th grade, I was a part of East, don't laugh, East Bay Conservation Corps summer program. It was basically like the precursor to Job Corps. You know what I'm saying? It was for at-risk youth and shit, basically fucking prison to pipeline shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the counselors were cool and everything, but it wasn't until I was older, man, I realized, like, what the fuck? Man, the motherfuckers was trying to route me into the penitentiary. Even at a goddamn early age, I wasn't even in high school yet, but anyway. Okay, so we'll end here. We'll end this out just like this here. So by the time I graduated 8th grade and was headed into high school, there were a few instances that were like inklings of like what was to come for real, for what people do know of me as far as early 90s, mid 90s, and then late 90s. I think early 90s. When I say early, I mean maybe 92, 93. And this is where we'll stop. We might do a part 3. We will do a part 3. And then in 2025, we'll get the official, like, high definition, high gloss, you know, more production value versions of this going, right? But just for now, we'll do this. Okay, so I graduated in Carter 8th grade, summer of 92, East Bay Conservation Corps. And I remember I wanted my mom to take me to the flea market to buy some bootleg tapes, Alameda Flea Market, right? Not the one you see now. It was actually over where the old drive-in used to be in Alameda. It was a flea market there, not the one at the college right now. I don't even know if they got that still, but anyway. So we would go there and buy tapes. And then one time, 2 things happened. I had my mom's boyfriend, big black Jerry curl motherfucker, man. God damn. He was a cool dude, but man, you know, that shit was nasty, boy. So anyway, I'm not gonna say his name just in case he's still alive. I don't want to disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But he thought he was popping because he stayed by the lake and shit. You know, back in the days, I was like a badge of honor and shit. I stayed by the lake. And, you know, hey boy, what you doing and all that. But you know, he meant well. But anyway, I remember I was getting into that rebellious spirit. I wasn't a bad kid like that, but I wasn't feeling him. I was feeling myself, and I wasn't feeling him, and he wasn't my dad. So I was like, really, man, fuck this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So one day, my mom, and my nephew went to Kmart in Richmond. It's where the Planet Fitness is right now, right there at San Pablo and San Pablo Dam Road. When you see that Planet Fitness right there, there used to be a Kmart, old ass Kmart, man. And I bought a Source magazine, and it was the one with Dr. Dre. He had a gun to his head. And do you know what? Let me just put a fun fact out there. Respectfully, I'm one of those people that agrees. He stole that concept from X-Rated, the rapper from Sacramento. I helped a lot, at least give awareness to his situation when he was still locked up, and I was doing KPFA. Anyway, Dr. Dre, he had an album cover. He had a cover of the Source magazine with a gun to his head, and it was talking about the launch of this new label, which was Death Row Records. So my mom's boyfriend saw the magazine when I got home, and he was like, you know, he meant well, but he was trying to, you know, why you reading that bullshit? You know, he putting that gun to his head. It's a negative bullshit. Goddamn shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's just big smoked turkey neck Jerry curl motherfucker, man. Anyway, let me stop, man. He wasn't feeling it, but I was like, I'm really reading it now. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't feeling that motherfucker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was reading it, and there was a full page ad for Leopold's Records. That's essentially what Rasputin's is now. Leopold's Records. What Rasputin's Records is now, that's what Leopold's was to us. I think it became Rasputin's. I don't know. Anyway, so Oh, shout out TJ, man. I just saw TJ at Fixins, shit, up in Sacramento, man. I was eating some oxtails and shit. I just ran CIM. Anyway, shout out TJ to DJ, you know what I mean? Okay, so opened up the page, opened up the magazine, and it was a full page ad, 2 pages, man. The Bay Area Underground is fat, PHAT. That's how you spelt it in the 90s. Ooh, that shit was tight. And all of these different albums I never heard of, but the covers just popped, man. They all appealed to me. I was like, damn, what is this? And it was one in particular, and I'll stop here. I saw, no, 2 in particular, and I'm gonna stop here. Shout out Mugzilla. You got something to do with this too, bro, okay? Coach Muggs, the zillionaire himself, okay? One of the albums was Down and Dirty by The Click. I was like, damn, what's that? And then the other one was, it was 3, but hear me out. The other 2 belonged to Strictly Business Records. What's Really Going On, that EP by Mac Dre, and Who Can Be Trusted, the EP from Ray Love. Those three albums right there, those 3 projects single-handedly reshaped my mind's relationship with myself as a rapper when it comes to, can I really become a Bay Area rapper? So the same time that I bought that magazine, Gotta Get My Money On by Ray Love was playing on the radio. Remember that? Gotta Get My Money On. Shout out Aunt DOG and Ray Love. You know what I mean? Oh, and Adisa, man. He introduced me to Ray Love in person later in life. But shout out Aunt DOG from the Link Crew, man. I did a song with him a long time ago, man. That was one of my rap buddies and shit. You know, everybody, we all got rap friends. If you're a real like Bay Area rapper from back in the day, you got a rap friend, a few rap friends, where it's like we didn't really go nowhere too far, like for our standards at the time, but we was just, that's what made us click and shit. You know what I mean? You know, we eventually became well known and famous in our own way, but at the time, you know, I was still struggling, you know, and Ant was cool, man. So anyway, it's not the point. The point is, Ray Love, that album, it was a song on there called X Check It Out, Y'all. And X Check It Out, Y'all, there was a skit in the very beginning. Ray Love calling Kyrie, the producer Kyrie. Shout out Kyrie. I met Kyrie, influential producer as far as my music is concerned. He was calling Kyrie. He was like, yeah, this Kyrie, what's up? And Ray Love was like, yeah, man, check this out, Kyrie, man. I'm at Hilltop Mall, and I'm watching everybody walking around wearing X hats, man. They don't even know what it means, man. The beat was immaculate. Ooh, shit. Okay. The beat was immaculate, high end, high definition. And I was like, damn, this shit's tight. You know what I mean? And I was stuck on that the whole summer, 92. This is the point. That was the first time I heard somebody name Hilltop Mall. That shit blew me away. I was like, oh shit, I know where that is, you know? I'm connected to that. I'm a part of that. That's not New York. That's not Los Angeles. That's not somewhere else, man. That's right here. You know what I mean? And then the other album, which, man, E40 and the Click, Down and Dirty, the very first song, the way that bass line hit, the synthesizer, the 808, the hi-hats, the raps, the song is called Let's Get Drunk. That, I remember being almost like comatose by that song. I said, what is this? Go listen to it. Not the original one, the one on the, not the Jive Records release, the one that's on the original Sick Witted Records catalog release, and the one that's on E40 Spotify channel, Spotify account. Listen to that one. That is the one I'm talking about. And Muggs is on that album, on the song, a few songs, but I know Street Life, you know, that's a classic. But anyway, those 2 projects and Mac Dre, What's Really Going On, the song What's Really Going On, that was it. It was new. It was very high quality, and it was something that basically mirrored back to me, not just where I was living, but like how I was living, like the what they said and how they talked and the slang and the beats and all the homies was on it too. So anyway, we'll stop there because that is when I really started to pivot into Don't Laugh. This will be part 3. And then we'll probably do a few more. I'm saying 3, but it's going to be a few more of these. The right after that, the end of the summer, my mom said, "What do you want for your birthday?" In true African American and Filipino culture, in true style, you know what I said? I want a karaoke machine. She bought me a Singleodian. It was like a dual cassette machine with a mic and shit. And this motherfucker, and Bobby used to come over to my house after school. We used to make like fake tapes and shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, that we're getting closer to the season premiere. You know what I mean? But these are just prequels, man. Episodes 1, episode 2 right now. Stay tuned for episode 3. It'll be coming soon. But anyway, I hope this was informative. And yeah, man, I will see you when I see you again. Peace.